Hello all, Stacey the Black Feather Intuitive. Welcome to Demystify the Divine, weekly readings and tools to connect. And happy holidays. How was everybody's holiday? If you celebrated the holiday, how did all that go? Did you have a good time? Was it all that you wanted it to be? For some of us, holidays can be a little bit cuckoo. They can be a little cray-cray. Things don't always go the way we think, the way we hope, the way we anticipate. Yeah, it can be a very interesting time. So I know for me, I chose to keep it very low key because I knew that, kind of processing, saying goodbye to 2023 is very important to me because I am so ready for this year to go bye-bye. And there's been a lot that I've needed to, I want to say, get into a space of gratitude around. And so that was what I kind of planned for my holiday. I did a little bit of family stuff. I did a little bit of friend stuff. And then I just did a lot of me time. And I know not everybody can do that. Not everybody wants to do that around the holidays, but that was what I needed this year. And I definitely gave myself the best, I want to say the best Christmas present that I could give to myself was that. So, yeah. So hoping everyone's doing well. Yeah, I see Melissa saying bye 2023. Exactly. Bye-bye. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. I'm so done and so over it. So let's pull a card and see what we've got coming up for the holiday. I want to say, let's pull a card to see what energy is going to support us as we transition out of 2023 and into 2024, because I believe this is our last Demystify of 2023. And so I'll be seeing you on the flip side in the new year. But in the meantime, how can we honor 2023 and honor 2024 and sort of send it off the way it's supposed to be and embrace the new? So I'm pulling cards from Barbara Moore's Shadowscapes deck. Oh, interesting. We got the Hanged Man. So the Hanged Man or the Hanged One, it's about surrender. It's about acceptance. It is what it is. I'm accepting that it is what it is. I'm choosing to look at it from a different perspective. I'm choosing to pause and breathe. And I feel like when we're talking about what energy can support us through this transition, this is the perfect card. For those of you who listen to me about all the Phoenix stuff, this is the Phoenix growing card. The Phoenix growing phase is the womb. It's the, all right, I'm not who I was. I already spontaneously combusted. That version of me is no longer there. I'm sitting in the pile of ash, but I can't see the forest for the trees. I have no vision. I have no idea who I'm becoming. I don't even know who I am right now. I'm still trying to figure all that out. And so the Phoenix growing phase can be very uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable on so many levels because we don't necessarily know where we're going and growing. And it is a time for rest, recuperation, recharge, renewal, receiving, learning how to be in the process of going from point A to point B, island A to island B, without necessarily being or feeling like we're in control of it. And PS and FYI, the great illusion is our control over things. It's the greatest illusion on the planet, right? Our control of things. So I feel like the message for us as we are transitioning out of the energy of 2023 and into the energy of 2024, it's really about accepting that it is what it is. Opening yourself to receiving whatever is coming up and coming through. The Hanged One is not a card I want to say, a card of action in the ways that we think about it. It's action, but it's action under the hood. A lot of times it takes more action to not do anything, right? It takes more energy to not do something than on occasion that it takes to do something. So I'm feeling very much that the Hanged One is inviting you at this time to embrace the energy of not knowing, embrace the energy of nothingness, the void, the pause. Because in that pause, I want to say it's a pregnant pause. It is full of potential. It's full of the ingredients that are combining and colliding and alchemizing and transmuting into the new version of you that is becoming. But it can't become if you're rushing it. It can't become if you're sitting, you're sitting in it and trying to make something happen. You know, you guys hear me talk about the bulldoze. Me being an A type, I bulldoze through things from time to time. Well, I got it. I'm headstrong. I got it in my head. This is what I want to do. This is what it needs to look like. This is the timing of it. Go, 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 go. And the universe and source is like, all right, well, you do that. Have fun. Let's see how it works out. Because we got a better plan over here, but you're not listening. You're not paying attention. You're not enjoying the process. You're not trusting the process. So you go do you. And when you're finished doing you and it doesn't work out, come back to us because we got a plan. Right? So I feel like the Hanged Man is coming through as a gift to say, you don't have to do anything. Or I like to say for my fellow A types, let's A type the shit out of being. You know, let's A type the shit out of pause and breathe. Right? Oh, I don't have to do anything, but it's hard for me to not do anything. It's hard for me to just sit and receive. So I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to give myself the task of sitting and receiving. You know, it's a mind game, but it works. You know, if you feel like you have to be doing something, that's a good approach to it. And there are others of you who are like, oh, good, I don't have to do anything. Whew, I can do that well. Let me sit and just be. Let me embrace that. And I want to say for those of you who are in that space, hats off to you. Maybe you can all teach us a lesson in how to do that. Because it's important to know. It's important to learn. We are human beings, not human doings. But being is something that we, I want to say, quite frankly, fail miserably at from time to time because we're so trained, we're so focused on our value being connected to what we produce. So as you're transitioning into 2024, take advantage of these next few days. We only have like 5 of them, 4 of them, 5 of them. Take the next few days and practice your being. Practice receiving. What does it feel like to simply just receive a gift and say thank you for it? I have had a number of opportunities actually this season, Christmas season, to do that. I've had some clients who have out of the blue sent me some really amazing gifts that I was not expecting or anticipating at all. And for me, I'm like, oh my God, please don't do that because I have to give. I have to give back. Now I've got to get you a gift. I've got to this. I've got to that. It turns my brain all into mush. I'm receiving with gratitude. I'm receiving with deep thanks and humility that you've chosen to do that for me. And it's teaching me, you're my teacher. It's teaching me, it's giving me an opportunity to practice receiving. Because there are going to be other times when I'm the giver. So consider that in these next few days. I feel like the energy of 2024 is going to be rocking. And if you're following me, if you're not on my my newsletter, get on my newsletter because you're going to receive the year-end not year-end, the beginning of the year, the full year reading coming up on January 1st. I've also done a special reading with Dwayne from In the Stars, my counterpart, my astrologer counterpart. We've done a quarter review, astrology and the energies of what's coming through. That's going to be coming up on, I think, the 2nd or the 3rd of January, if I'm not mistaken. So you can definitely tap into a lot of the energies. That's all on YouTube, by the way. You can tap into all of the energies of what we're coming into in 2024, and it's all very exciting. you can prepare yourself. But before you prepare yourself for the year, before you're in the energy of 2024, let's honor it. Let's sit in the energy of 2023 and just allow it to be. Honor it for what it's been for you. Whether that's been good, bad, or ugly, honor what it's been for you. And that's kind of what I'm doing too. I mean, 2023, I was saying this actually, Dwayne and I had a show today. So feel free to watch that too, In the Stars with Dwayne. It was our final 2023 year-end reading, and it was great. It was a lot of fun. But I was just kind of saying, like, 2023 for me is one of those years that I'm going to look back on and say, holy cannoli, like, I'm so glad that I'm not there anymore. And at the same time, there was so much that 2023 brought around my transformation. It's been a pivotal year. It's been the year where things shifted, is what I want to say. The year where things shifted. And when I say shifted, I mean shifted in a direction that I actually am happy about. Like, feeling like, oh, okay, I'm sort of getting on track now. You know what I mean? Like, I talk about this a lot with people. The last couple of years, it's been running on the treadmill, being the hamster, running, putting all this energy and effort out and getting nowhere and getting nothing, right? So in this time, I'm going to honor all of that 2023 has been for me, warts and all, because there's been a lot of shit that happened this year that has not been fun or pleasant. I never want to go through it again. I've had a couple of health journeys this year that I plan to never revisit again in my life. There's been so much. And I know from talking to all you guys all throughout the year, I'm not alone in this. Everyone has had their pockets of things and stuff. You know, it's like the universe rooted into our souls, rooted into the shadow, and said, oh, let's pluck this one out and this one out and this one out. Let's bring all that to the surface because they can deal with that now. Well, thanks for that. On top of all the other things and stuff that we're in. Thanks for that. And on the flip side, thanks for that. Because now I can release it. I can leave it in 2023, never to return. I don't need to look back. I'm looking forward. I'm in my now. I'm in my present moment. And the only future thoughts are the vision of what I'm creating, but I'm taking the action steps in the now towards that vision. And right now, the action steps is being. So that's my action. That's my action. And that's all of our action. So, yeah, apparently it's Stacy telling you about her whole life today rather than a powerful, inspiring message. So hopefully you get something out of that you can relate to that to some degree. But just know you're not alone. Everybody this year has been, I hesitate to use this terminology because it often connects me to sort of my more negative religious sort of upbringing where things were not so great. But it's like everyone's been tested. And I don't mean like we're being tested by the big man in the sky. It's more like everyone has been presented with things in their lives to basically say, do you want to take this with you when you go? Because it's heavy. I'm actually thinking about Cryon. If you ever watch or listen to any of Cryon's messages, I believe years and years ago, Cryon wrote a book that was sort of like a parable or a fable. And he talked about like Archangel Michael. I think Michael was the main character, or Michael was the angel that was helping the main character. But anyway, that was like the whole purpose of it was the angel kept saying, let me take your bag for you. Like, I'll carry it for you, or you can leave it behind. You don't need to take it. And he was like, hell no, I need this shit. I'm taking it with me. And then everywhere he went, he would like lose the bag, or something would be taken from the bag, or the bag would disintegrate. And eventually there was like no bag. And he had so much suffering and sorrow over this bag that he insisted on carrying. And at the end of it, or on the other side of it, the angel is like, well, that's why I tried to carry it for you. I tried to let you know that what you were walking into was going to, like, you weren't going to need it, or what you were walking into was going to take it all away. But it's taking it all away because now you've got space for all of this amazingness. Now you've got space for the new, but you had to go through the journey in order to learn what that new looked like. And he was like, duh, oh, right? And that's how a lot of us are. We cling to these things. We cling to the stuff that we feel is safe or secure, is going to bring us happiness, or brings us happiness. Maybe it brings us happiness for a temporary period of time, and then we hang on so long that it's no longer happiness and joyful, but we forget. We forget the why, because we're not present. We're focused more on, I don't want to lose this, than we are on, what is this giving me right now? So I feel like that Hanged Man message is perfect. Forget all of that. Forget the attachment to the future. Forget the attachment to the past. What is your present moment bringing you? What potential does this present moment hold for you? How are you growing into this new version of yourself? What does that look like? Create it in your mind, create it in your heart. That's where the action and the activity can happen, is here, in the imagination, not the monkey mind, the imagination. And then just sit and be. Sit and be. Sometimes that's the hardest thing to do. All right, I'm going to shut up and stop waxing poetic. Let's do some readings. Ragu!
Hi.
Hello, Merry
Leonie.
Christmas, and almost Happy
Stacy.
New Year to you.
Almost Happy New Year.
He knew you were
Yeah.
here. He heard your voice.
Hi,
So you just
Nia.
in the face.
How are you doing?
We're doing all right. We're hanging in today. We're hanging in. Do you have a specific question, or do you want a card pull today?
Just a card pull, please.
All right. Let's see what energy can support you through your transition today. Ooh, the Star. So for you, I feel like it really is about holding fast and firm to the vision that you're creating for your 2024. And I feel like that vision doesn't have to have a specific purpose that is connected to spiritual path or starseed energy or any of that stuff. I feel like the purpose needs to be what is going to bring you the most fun, the most laughter, the most opportunity to laugh, to commiserate with other people, to be, right? To just be with other people, be in those connections. I feel like when the Star comes up, I love this depiction of the Star too. I love the Star card, but I love this depiction as well. I feel like when the Star card comes up in a reading, it's really an invitation to go bigger than what you were thinking. It's like a go big or go home kind of situation. Evaluate your vision and say, it doesn't have to be so serious in its purpose. I've already set that out. I've already manifested that. I'm working on that. I'm working towards that. I can let that go. How do I make the journey more fun? How do I open myself to more of the adventure of what it contains? We get caught up in the idea of what we think life is supposed to look like, but that's not actually kind of what we're supposed to be doing. Right. It's the journey. It's okay, I'm choosing to have this experience. Now give me an experience that's going to be worthy of that goal, worthy of that outcome. That's what I want to focus on. Yeah. So be more playful, set a purpose for yourself for 2024 that, all the things that you're doing either towards that goal or just in general on a daily basis, you want to be able to laugh at least 5 times in a day, belly laugh. So what are some things you're going to do to make that happen? Is it watching more comedy? Is it connecting with people that make you laugh? Is it, going to the cat cafe and watching all the kitties, running around and jumping and playing and it gives you giggles? Whatever that happens to be. For you, it's your grandkids, right? Laughing at their antics, laughing at your granddaughter who's
Yes.
bossing everybody around, right? So I want to say be in that space of the play, bringing in more of the play into your life, more of the joy. I hope that makes some sense.
Thank you, Stacy. Thank you very much.
There's the hand. Hi,
You see the hand?
Yes. She almost did like
Hi,
she started to do a little bit of
Hi, Keone.
the royal.
How you doing?
Happy,
Hi, Keone. How are you?
I'm
Happy
surviving.
New Year to both of you.
Stacy's keeping me around, so I guess I'm doing good.
Well, and you've seen me twice today. We did a show earlier today.
Yeah.
So it's been Day of Stacy.
It's been a wonderful
All right,
day.
good to see you guys. Happy New Year. We'll see you in 2024.
Yes,
See you in
absolutely.
2024.
Bye.
Take care. All right.
Hold on a second. I got to mute for a second.
Okay.
All right. Are we ready? Let's see who pops up today. The final spin of the year. Well, not the final yet. We've got Melissa G. Melissa G. And Melissa would like a reading.
Just a card reading?
Yes.
Okay.
New card readings if they haven't selected.
So, Melissa, I'll do the same thing. What energy is going to support you through the transition from 2023 to 2024? 6 of Wands. This is victory energy. So I feel like for you, it's celebrating your wins, putting the focus on all the things that went well and went right for you this year, focusing on those areas where you maybe inched a little bit further into your goal. Don't focus on the, well, I didn't get where I thought I was going to be by the end of 2023. Focus on the, how far did I get? That's an accomplishment. Even a millimeter's worth of movement is movement forward, and it needs to be celebrated, because what we put our focus on, we attract more of. And keep in mind that 2023, for a lot of us, the energy was very much about the push-pull. It was very much about 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. And that was very frustrating. So if you got anything done, if you were able to connect to anything at all, this would be the good thing to do, right? Like, that's a good thing. That's a major accomplishment, given that the energies were not conducive always to our goals. We did eventually move forward on certain things, but it was hard fought and hard won. So celebrate your wins over the next 5 days and use that energy that you get from the celebration of those wins to fuel the manifestations that you're creating for 2024. I hope that helps and makes some sense, and sending you lots of love and Happy New Year. All right, Keone, I see someone is going to come on live. Yay! Kimberly, how you doing?
Good, and you?
I'm doing great, thank you. Happy almost New Year.
Same to you.
I love your shirt. I love the red bows.
Thank you.
Awesome. Do you have a question for me?
Just what to look forward to in the new year.
What to look forward to? So I'm feeling a lot of community energy for you. I'm feeling like there's going to be, and it's more towards the second half of the year than the first half, but I'm feeling like there's really going to be a deepening of your current relationships. I also feel someone new coming into the mix from a friendship perspective that's really going to be significant, but I feel like someone's got to go before that person comes in. It's kind of like the person that needs to go takes up too much space. They're like they take up too much energy. And I feel like you know who this person is. And it's not necessarily that you have to cut them out entirely, but you want to kind of put some boundary around how much you invest in that person. Because if that person is there and taking up all of your time and energy, you're not going to have enough time to really kind of lean into this person when they show up. I feel a divine feminine energy. So I feel a woman that's going to be coming in. It's someone who I feel has got that kindred spirit sort of energy. Someone that you're really going to be able to connect with on a number of levels. I also feel like there's something similar about your upbringing or the way that you were brought up or the location that you were raised, that there's going to be some strong similarity to that. And I feel like that commonality kind of gets the ball rolling. And then as you guys get to know one another, you recognize, oh my God, there's just so much here. It's like you're talking to yourself a lot of times when you're having conversation. I'm also seeing there's going to be a healing that happens between you and a family member. I feel an estrangement of sorts, and there's going to be a window for some healing. I don't know if you guys are going to be like fully all in and back together by the end of the year, but I feel like there's enough healing there that you really feel like, okay, there's hope. I know how we're going to kind of move forward. And I know that we can build on this dynamic. It might not be what it used to be, but we don't want it to be that necessarily. We want it to be something different, something fresh. And the card energy that you can use for 2024 to support yourself is the Judgment card. And I love the Judgment card because it is all about decisions, making a choice to not repeat old patterns and cycles that no longer serve you. And I feel like that's a big focus for you this year. You've made a decision that you're like, I want things to change. I'm not happy with the fact that I'm always kind of, running around like a yo-yo all the time. People are taking advantage of me. And I know that I'm the only one who can stop that. So I need to make some changes about the people that I'm allowing into my space, how much I'm investing energetically in these people and what I'm getting back from these dynamics in these relationships. So this year was a big theme was reciprocity. And I feel like you learned that theme sometimes in hard ways, that you gave and gave and gave, but then when it came time for you to receive, you didn't receive all the time. Your love cup was empty. And so this is a year where I feel that you've made a conscious, committed choice within you to say, no more. I'm not doing that. I'm going to choose me. I'm going to see my value and worth. I'm going to give to people that give to me. And I don't always have to overgive. I feel like that's a big thing for you. So the decision, the Judgment card is coming up and coming through because you're really making a solid choice to choose yourself and to say, I'm not going backwards. There's only room for me to go forwards. And I feel like that's what you want to kind of hang on to, because that's the motivation. That's the fuel. That's what you've been cooking up this whole year. And you've been saving it up for 2024. And there are going to be a number of opportunities where you're going to use that fuel and it's going to be very successful for you. And you're going to feel more connected to yourself as a woman, as a person, as feeling that others are seeing those good qualities in you and not taking advantage of it and instead praising it. And it's because you're doing it. We teach others how we wish to be treated. That's what this is about. You're saying, no more am I going to just wait for you to show up and see me for who I am. And I'm no longer going to waste the breath to try and tell you who I am either. I'm just going to walk away and do my thing. And if you learn from my actions, if you learn from my example, awesome. And if you don't, awesome. There's no room for you here. Go do you. I'm going to do me. So very much a year of empowerment for you in 2024. I hope that makes some sense for you.
It do.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Wishing you a very happy new year.
Same to you.
All right. Take care. Oh, you're on mute, Keone.
So the last one, let's see who's the last reading of the year. Are you excited yet?
4. You're always doing 4. You're switching things up, Keone.
I thought you said, you know what? Don't do that to me. Don't you do it. All right. And we've got Sue. Okay.
All right.
Sue would like some guidance. She's feeling confused and down.
I'm sorry to hear that, Sue. I know a lot of
Also, you know, I'm just producing. I go as long and short as you want me to.
3.
All right.
3 questions. It's all right. Sometimes I do more. So there you go. Sue, I'm so sorry to hear that you're feeling so down. And I would have to say that I think there are a fair amount of people who are also kind of in that space of not really sure what to do with all of the heaviness, you know, feeling the struggles that we're seeing out in the world and finding it challenging to disconnect from that at appropriate moments. And what I mean by that is not disconnecting, burying our heads in the sand and pretending like it doesn't exist and not doing anything about it, but recognizing what we can do with certain circumstances. I said it earlier, the greatest illusion that we have is how much control we have in our lives. And the bottom line is we have very little. We have very little control. We control our choices. That's it. Everything else that kind of crosses our path, it's connected to our choices. And some of it is surprise. Here's something that's coming up and how do you deal with it? The challenge that we run into, and I feel that this is connected to you, Sue, as well, is, you know, you see the disparity in the world, out in the collective. You see the horrific stuff that's going on and you feel it empathically. You feel it and you feel such hopelessness and dissonance because you're like, this shouldn't be. And I want to fix it. I want to make it better. I want to make it right, but I don't feel like I have the resources. And so I just shut down. I don't know what to do. And I feel overwhelmed. And so I shut down. And what I'm feeling for you on an intuitive level is maybe through this transition from 1 year energy to the next, maybe it's taking a bit of a hiatus, you know, taking a break from social media, taking a break from the news, taking a break from the collective. And when you are feeling that heaviness and feeling into that collective space and that collective energy, ask your angels, ask your guides to remove the heaviness from you and to really fill you with light. And that light you can share with the collective, but you don't have to be in it to share it. Become it first. Fill the body up, you know, doing visualizations. Fill the body up with light. Fill that body with light. And then visualize yourself sort of sitting in the collective. Maybe you're in a protective bubble in the middle of the collective. You're protected so that you're not receiving any of that energy. You're just putting the light out. And that gives you something that you actually can do. You're actually getting, I want to say that's like an action step that you're taking. And we know, those of us who work with energy, we know how powerful it is. We know that it does make a difference. And we might not see it in real time. Sometimes we do see it in real time. But we know that it works and it works consistently over time. It's all about the intentions that we set. So I want to say, if you feel like you need to do something, step in and do that. And then just take a break from the rest of it. And always ask your angels to clear your energy. Angels, help me to discern between what is mine and what is the collective energy. And then help me to release that collective energy from my energetic field. It doesn't mean that you're ignoring it. It means you're self-carrying your own energy. Again, if your love cup is not full and overflowing, how can you help others? How can you be there for others? That depression often comes through in, I don't know how to change my circumstances. I don't know what else to do. I'm doing all the things. I'm doing all the things they say to do. I don't know how to change my circumstances. I don't know why all these things are happening. What I would say is go to the hanged man. Stop asking the why. Sit in it. Acceptance of what is without trying to change it, without trying to ask why, just sitting in it. Because sometimes when we're asking the why, we're resisting the energy. And then we're prolonging the energy because we're not moving through it. We're not learning from it. And I don't mean that everything is a lesson and you have to learn something from everything. Sometimes that gets overwhelming. And quite honestly, that can be somewhat abusive at times to ourselves. So within moderation, right? But I feel like that's going to help to lift your spirits, because I feel like a lot of what you're going through is exactly that. It's the empath hangover. It's the empath saturation and overwhelm. Most of the heaviness of what you're feeling isn't yours, but you're feeling it as though it's happening to you. If you remove that component, you're left with you. What am I feeling? What's going on with me? And then I can observe what's happening out in the collective. And then I can get some perspective. And then I can start to take little steps towards making a difference or making a change, or feeding positive energy and light into the collective, hanging on to the vision of where we're going and growing. So I'm just going to give you a quick card here. This makes so much sense. 9 of Swords. It's letting go of the nightmare. It's getting out of your head. Depression comes from our monkey mind. Depression comes from the ego, overthinking. The ego saying, you're not enough of this. You're too much of that. Don't do this. Don't do that. Who do you think you are? 9 of Swords is waking up from a nightmare into a nightmare. So I feel like the 9 of Swords is coming up for you to say, end the nightmare. Stop going into that energy. Stop allowing that energy to permeate your energetic field. You're powerful. You're strong enough to say, no, stop. That's not what's happening here. And I'm going to fill myself with light. All right, Susie Q, I hope that helps. And I hope you have an amazing new year, and that you feel a little lighter, feel a little brighter, and that you focus on that light piece. It doesn't make everything better. It doesn't take the pain away, but it gives you perspective on what is actually yours to deal with and lightens things up for you. And that's, at the end of the day, I think that's what a lot of us are looking for, is just a little bit of relief and a little bit of clarity around what's coming next. And that's what's going to get you there. So thank you guys so much for hanging in there. We ran a little late. We ran a little over, but sending everyone love. Wishing you all a very happy New Year's Eve. I hope you celebrate and enjoy it by honoring who you are now as a result of this year, and really say goodbye to it for good, so that you don't have to carry that energy into 2024. And even if 2023 was the best year for you ever, you want to still leave that energy behind, because 2024 is its own ball of wax, and it's going to be amazing. I'll see you guys next year in 2024. We'll be connecting on, I think it's like the 13th, 12th, something like that. It'll be the second Wednesday in January. Book your year in preview. I'm only doing it until January 31st. And after that, I'm done. So would love to connect with you for your year in previews for 2024, and sending so much love. Thanks, Keone.